Hey guys, so you can hear my voice. I got a cold from somewhere. I don't know from where, y'all. I was at work yesterday, and I don't know why this is so bright, but I was at work yesterday, and I started feeling the tingling in my throat, and I had a sore throat by the end of the day, and then now you can hear the congestion. So I went last night and got some medicine from CVS. I've been drinking bay leaf water. I did the Celtic water salt. I don't have a sore throat anymore, so that saline that salt gargle worked almost immediately. And it might have been I used that first, and then I did the bay leaf drink. So I don't know, but I don't have a sore throat. But when I woke up this morning, I was more congested. So I have a saline. Sorry, y'all. A saline thing for my nose. So I'm doing that. I don't have any fever or anything like that. I can still taste. So, I'm just hoping that I was going to go out today because I need to get a few things. But I was like, let me just stay in completely. I've been in my bed all day, y'all. I think it's about 9 p.m. My cats usually eat at 7. They 2 hours late. And I got one licorice when I be posting. She'd be like coming in that room like, excuse me, it is 7 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm not moving right now. So they just finished eating, and you heard the air fry going off. I'm making some chicken thighs, and I got some pasta with some. The pasta had those red tomatoes. I don't eat those red tomatoes. Now I eat tomatoes, but I don't eat those small red tomatoes. I just don't do it. And the pasta came like that. I got it from Trader Joe's, but I took that out. It's linguine. I took that out, and I added some green beans, some corn, of course, onions and peppers. I couldn't help myself. So, but I'm coming on. It's going to be a lot of videos that I've already been doing because when the whole process started, I wasn't going to be coming on, telling you about something that wasn't. So, you probably don't know, but some people do know, especially if they worked at Metro, that in 2009, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was in the right breast and it was in the chest wall. It wasn't even stage 1. It was like right there. So I had the option to choose whether or not I wanted to take chemo, but I would need to take radiation and have a pill. At that time, back in 2009, you needed to take a pill. I think it was called tamoxifen for 5 years afterwards. Okay, so I decided to do chemo that works, right? Because I'm like, okay, hey, let's go. you know. So I had 3 rounds of chemo, and I did everything at John Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. That's where I had my treatment. My chemo treatment was done there. And I'm going to say after the first, but before the second treatment, I could touch my hair and my hair was in my hand. I can't remember. I think I had long, yeah, I think, yeah. Yeah, I had long hair. I'm going to try to put up a picture of my hair before 2009, I think so. Yeah, I had long hair. I mean, I never had no long hair way down my back, but I had hair. Okay, so what I recall about that time, I was living in Baltimore, Owens Mills at that time, and it was right before the second treatment. Now I wasn't getting treatment. I only got 3. I don't know the name of the chemo that I got, guys. I just don't know. I probably could go back and look at my medical records and see. But I know between the first one and the second one, that's where my hair, if I touched it, it would be in my hands. So one day I was at home and there was a guy that lived in another building, but he had a bald head. And I went running up to him, hey, how are you? He's like, who in the hell is this girl? But I went to him and asked him, what is he using to shave his hair? And I told him. And then he told me, and I went right to the store that day and shaved all my hair. And I was still working. Now, I found out April 2009. I think I was on sick leave for the first time because I had to get a lumpectomy and something else. That kind of stuff is vague to me, but I do recall being on sick leave. But even though I was on sick leave, I was coming to work every day, y'all. Every day. Now, the only days I didn't come, or I did come when I had chemo, because my old boss back then, Miss Potts, she was like, oh, no, you got to go home. Hey, listen, it's not funny, but I always tell people when I had the chemo, when I was going through it, to me, it felt like an elephant was standing on you. And you don't have the power or the strength to get that elephant off you. But I knew that I needed to be up and moving. I didn't care about nothing. I needed to be up and moving. And listen, like I said, I lived in Owens Mills, Maryland. And I was traveling. At that time, I was working at Southern Avenue Division off of Marlboro Pike. So I think the ride was like an hour or just a little bit under an hour each way. I didn't care. I was coming to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this day after treatment, I came to work, and I guess I didn't look good, or I don't know. But Miss Potts that day, she was like, McIntosh, you getting up out of here today. So that was the only one time that I was actually asked to go home. But during my entire treatment, I went to work every day that I was supposed to be there. I was there. And I had shaved my hair off. I didn't want to wear no wigs. I wasn't into that. Before, matter of fact, when I think about it, before I was wearing like weaves, or, I was wearing all kinds of stuff. But I said, when I shaved my hair, I said, I'm not wearing no wig. I'm not wearing nothing. This is who I am. I'm going to put a picture up too. Because back then in 2009, we had started a new program. I was in supervisory at that time. And we had employees. We needed to be on the street. We had employees in the division. We needed to talk to them, write them up, or whatever the case was. It was like we was doing 2 jobs at once. So I was no longer going on the street. After I got diagnosed and started my treatment, I started staying in the garage. And then they started the next bus. I don't know if you remember that, but they started the next bus, and I was in charge of that. So, so I had my 3 rounds of chemo, and after I finished my chemo, I started chemo I was diagnosed April 2009. I started my chemo in July. And I can't remember when I finished, but because it wasn't like you go every week. It was like I was going every 3 weeks or something, maybe. I don't know. But maybe when it got time for the radiation, I needed to have radiation 5 days a week. And so what I did is, I was working at Southern Avenue, so for the radiation, I didn't go to Johns Hopkins. I went to Southern Maryland because it was right down the street from the division. I could just go there, get my radiation, and come on back. So that's what I was doing. I had to do that 5 days a week. And I was going for my radiation. And I think I finished everything in November 2009. And then they put me on a pill. So like I told you, they put you on a pill for 5 years at first. And then they changed it. I think I was almost finished. And then they said, no, we're going to do 10 years. I cannot tell you if it was tamoxifen my entire 10 years or did it change. I can't remember that. My surgeon asked me, but I can't remember. She was naming all kinds of stuff. I just couldn't remember. But I know once I retired, in 2019, March 2019, I was finished with the pill that I needed to take. Okay, so fast forward. So once you diagnose, you're going to get the mammograms, you're going to do everything, because I didn't have any symptoms of having breast cancer. And as a matter of fact, I think in 2006, I had a breast reduction. And, but it was on the chest wall. And like I said, it wasn't even stage 1. It was right there. I'm going to just say it was stage 1. And so it was very small, and it was on the chest wall, not actually in the breast. I mean, in the breast, but it was on the chest wall. Okay. So, I retired and moved to Florida. And 2019, I got here October 2019 in Florida. But I was flying home to Maryland for my care because I didn't have doctors here yet. So I knew in December I needed to have my mammogram, everything. I was still going home to Maryland, flying home to Maryland to get all of my care. So in 2020, I think, y'all, I did not have a mammogram then. I don't recall having a mammogram in 2020. And then in 2021, before I went out on the tractor trailer, I started going to Walmart Health down here in Florida. They had built state-of-the-art medical centers that were attached to the Walmarts. I mean, they had everything. Dental, you need an x-ray, blood work, beautiful state-of-the-art facilities. I don't know if they have them around, but they had them here in Florida. And so I started going in and I started getting my mammograms again. I got everything sent, all my previous things, because I always went to community radiology in Greenbelt for all of my mammograms, MRIs. I try to stay at one place so I can have my records at one place. And so I had them send everything down. So every year I get my mammograms. So this year, in a matter of fact, last year in 2024, because it's 2025 now. In 2024, the Walmart's closed. I was so shocked because this is a state of the art facilities. It almost reminds you like if you have Kaiser where they have everything there. I mean, it was state of the art. I was going to the dentist there. I was doing anything I needed. It was right there. But they closed. And so I had to, that happened in June 2024. But now remember, by December, because you cannot get the mammogram early with the insurance. You got to go either the date or after. So I don't mess around. I never mess around. But that year, that 2020, I think I did not do it, but I'm not certain. But at 2021, 22, 23, my mammogram's been fine. So 2024, I have flown home to Maryland, but I had my appointment set up as soon as I get back. I got back on the 26th of December, and I had my appointment for my mammogram, a chest x-ray, and to get my ovaries checked. Because I always was doing that, just because my grandmother on my mom's side had ovarian cancer. So every so often I would get like an ultrasound of my ovaries just to be certain, right? Because even back in 2010, I had the BRCA test and I tested negative. So, it was all seeming good. So I went December the 26th to get all those tests. On the 27th, they have a thing called My Chart. They have it at Johns Hopkins too, where you can see when they do something, when you do blood work or whatever, you can see it comes right on your phone. So it came right on my phone that my mammogram was abnormal. Okay, that was the 26th. Either that evening, guys, because I went at 3 something, and I think they closed at 5 something that day. But I know on the 27th, I was on the phone because I'm not messing around. Abnormal, they say you need another mammogram and you need an ultrasound. Now, let me tell you something. The difference here in Florida is when I was back home in Maryland, community radiology would give me my mammogram and tell me to wait. They want the radiologist to look at it first, and then if I needed an ultrasound, they would do it right then and there. I've had that done. I can recall having that done maybe once or twice. But this place, Orlando Health, they didn't do that. They just said, okay, you know, you can leave. But now, the next day, or not even 24 hours, I need another mammogram and I need an ultrasound because they see something abnormal in the lymph nodes and in the right breast, the lower right breast, some calcifications, and they see an abnormal lymph node under my arm. Now, in 2009, it hadn't gone to the lymph nodes, nothing. Okay, so before I had on the 26th, before I flew to Maryland, I had blood work done because I had to get a new doctor. I had to find a new doctor, and I was pressed because I don't want to be messing with this December date about my mammogram. So I just found the first person. She was a nurse practitioner, and their big thing down here is Advent Health, and then they have Orlando Health. Okay, so she was at Advent Health, and I always ask, is the person in network? You'll see a previous video that I did that I got a bill for $825. Yes, and she saw me for less than an hour, talk to me. Okay, so you can go back and look at that video. But at any rate, she had did some blood work. Okay, now the office was calling me when they got the blood work back. I could see it all. That's how I knew my HIV test was negative. I could see, you know, all my results. I could see everything. And she wanted me to come and see her. But now, after getting that bill for $825, I had to call United Healthcare because I'm like, why did I get a bill for $825 if this lady is in the network? And when they look, she wasn't in the network. So I can't, she's calling me. She wants to discuss the results, but I'm like, no, I can't afford to see you, lady. For less than an hour, $825. No, man. No, I can't see you. I got to find another doctor. So now I done had the mammogram, right? Their office is calling me. I mean, they called me several times. Oh, Miss Nurse Practitioner Lemon wants to set up an appointment to go over all the results, the blood work that she did. Okay. On the 27th, I called her office because she hadn't called me. But remember, I can see my results. And I called her and I said, hey, listen, I need a script. You know, I don't need a, what do you call it? A referral, but I need a script to get this done. And and they started talking about, well, we was trying to call. I said, hey, listen, I was not trying to be rude, y'all, but this was of the utmost importance. Like, I didn't care about nothing else. Zero. I don't care what she was saying. So, I think this was a Friday. I don't know. I can't remember. By Friday, I was in her office. I said, I'm coming from work. I'll be right there. I flew over there. And they was like, they wasn't giving me the runaround, but I was telling them it's in the record. I talked to the lady. Somebody in their office talked to me and was like, yeah, I see it. But now she's saying she don't see it. Now they want to see it on my phone. They want I said, listen, I don't care what you need to do, but I need a script today for another mammogram and an ultrasound. Okay. So she came out, a nurse practitioner Lemon, and I really liked her too. We had a good conversation. Nothing against her. But I told her, I said, Miss Lemon, I don't care about nothing else right now. All I care about is a script for a new mammogram and a script for ultrasound. And she was like, yes, ma'am. So she gave it to me and I went. Okay, remember, I went on the 26th. On the 27th, it was abnormal. On the 31st, I had went to Orlando Health because I thought that they could all see my records. But she was saying, well, I couldn't see them. But I don't know. It was kind of strange. If the lady I talked to on the phone could see it, why couldn't you see it? But at any rate, I didn't have time and I wasn't going to waste time going back and forth. But she was saying if you do it through Advent Health, I could see it right away. But at this time too, she's not knowing, I'm not going to see you again because you're out the network and I'm not paying $825 to see you. But I never said nothing to her about that. At that point, it's about getting the mammogram and blah, blah, blah. So I went to Orlando Health, picked up my records, and went to Advent Health to get the new mammogram and a new ultrasound. You will see a Google review. If you look up Advent Health Lake Murray, it was on Reinhardt, 960 Reinhardt. I did a Google review for that place because I was just shocked and appalled. Like I said, all of these facilities are nice, top notch, but these people were terrible. Like the lady who came out, didn't introduce herself, was telling me, like almost holding me at the door saying, you can't go back if you don't have your film. She didn't say, Miss McIntosh, do you have your stuff? I had it right in my bag. But she never said that. She didn't introduce herself. And then she just went into, if you don't have your stuff, we can't. So I was already heated, but I knew that I needed to stand on business. I need to get my stuff. So at any rate, I got that done. You want to check that out. It's a Google review on that place of exactly what happened. Okay, now, they do the mammogram, and then I needed to get an ultrasound. And then the doctor came in. The radiologist came in, Dr. Siegel. And he was like, Miss McIntosh, I see calcifications in the right lower breast, and I see something in the lymph nodes. So you need to see, no, he said you need 2 biopsies. That's what he told me. He said you need two biopsies, a needle biopsy and another one that starts with the S. But they generally are both kind of the same. But I needed 2, one for that lymph node and one for my breast. And I was like, okay, who is the person? They said they're going to call you to give you paperwork, and they said they're going to call you this evening to set up the appointment. Okay, now that's December the 31st. My appointment for my needle biopsy with Dr. Kemp, guys, I can't remember. It was early. Let me just say, maybe it was January the 10th. I think. I have a video, but I didn't put anything. I didn't share any of this information because I didn't want to be just telling you all something and I don't know and this and that. You know, I didn't want to do that. So I do have a video, and it probably will have the date, but I'm gonna just guess. Say it was January the 10th. And she said, when I went to go see her, she said, yes, we're gonna do biopsy. She said that on the arms, Dr. Kemp is fabulous, y'all. She's just a surgeon. She said that one under your arm, I see that all the time. I don't think that's nothing, you know, but we're gonna do the biopsy. And I do have, I couldn't, you know, of course you can't videotape. But the first one was they numb you like you at the dentist's office, you know how to give you the needle. So that's what they did underneath my arm. And then she had a tube. It's almost like they vacuumed out the lymph node. And then I had to go to another right there the same day. When I got up from that table, then they took me over to the other table. And this table, you lay on your stomach, you put your breast through a hole that's on the table, and they clamp it like ladies if you're getting a mammogram. And so the breast is exposed, and then they give you the same medicine like they do with the Novocaine or whatever they give you. They give you that, and then she did the suction. It was out again. That was, guys, I'm going to say, I don't know when that happened, y'all. I'm going to tell you, I was supposed to, I don't think that happened January 10th. Because I was supposed to go back to her office Monday coming. Today is February the 8th. And I was supposed to go back on the 10th for the results from those biopsies. And I'm thinking it was 2 weeks before. It was January something, but I can't remember. Maybe it was January 26th. I don't know. But she said they have been taking a little longer, giving the results. So she made the appointment February 10th to come back to get the results. Well, she called me last Tuesday, which was maybe the 3rd or something. I don't know what day it was. It was the 3rd. It was last week. I was at work. And she called and she said, listen, we have the results. Do you want to, I have an opening. You can come in tomorrow or you could come on the 10th. And, you know, I try to be respectful in my job too, you know, because they are 100% behind me. They have already told me whatever I need, let them know they're with me. So I'm grateful for that. And I just told them, let me call you right back. Let me call my job. Even though I was there, I needed to talk to the director. And he was like, yes, whatever you need. Because it was the next day. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to find somebody on the next day. You supposed to be there, you know. But I told him, after that, I will be there. I'm going to come to work late. But I need, you know, I want to go and get these results. So I went in. That was Thursday, y'all. So I don't know what day Thursday was, the 5th or whatever. I went in. And my appointment was at 10:30 a.m. And I was sitting. The lady had immediately brought me to the back, checked me in, told me to get undressed like you do for a mammogram. And then I was just sitting there for a long time. Like, to me, it seemed like a long time. When I looked at my watch, it was 10:47. Now, I've already told my family that I'm going in for the results. I have already told my job I'm going in for the results. They know what time I'm going, 10:30, 10:47, 10:49. I text everybody. And I say, listen, I'm still in here. The doctor has not come in yet. Because people want to know. You know what I'm saying? They want to know what's happening, what's going on. So shortly thereafter, she came in. And she said, Miss McIntosh, I have good and not so good news. And she said, which would you like? I said, hey, it doesn't make a difference. Because whatever it is, you know, that's how it was. So she said she had some pictures. I'm going to put them up too. And she showed me a picture. And she said, this is what you have. And then this picture is what we don't want to happen. Okay? And then she started telling me what are the options for what I have. I'm not going to say it right, but I'm going to put it up. It's in situ duct carcinoma. Okay? So not really a cancer, but I'm right there. And the lymph node was benign, like she said. And so she told me what they generally do for that is the person gets radiation and then they take a pill. So she said she was looking through her paperwork because she was looking for a number. I think it was called an ERC number. And she, you know, hauled out to the office. She's like, hey, I don't have the ERC number. Can you give me the ERC number? Okay, bang. And she said, well, I'm going to tell you that you don't really qualify for the radiation because you've already had radiation. And once you have radiation, you cannot have it again. It's one and done. I learned that. I did not know that. I learned that on Thursday about once you have radiation once, you can't have it anymore. So she said what we would do is do the mastectomy. So she started explaining, then the lady came in with the ERC, and that was negative, which was not good either, because it would need the radiation and a pill. But because this was negative, then that means that it's not really going to do anything for me. Okay, because I guess it wouldn't fight off anything to the next breast, or you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't like the tamoxifen kept everything down, or I mean, I might not be explaining it well, y'all, and please forgive me, but she did an excellent job in explaining it to me, and I understood everything that she was saying. So please forgive me if you don't really get, but I needed that number or that everything to be positive. But irregardless, because I can't have the radiation, the pill, I needed the radiation and the pill. They worked hand in hand. So I wasn't good for the radiation. So whether the pill was going to be positive or negative at that time, it really didn't make a difference. Okay, so I told her, no, I'm going to get a double mastectomy, because she started asking me about the left breast. And my left breast is a different size than the right breast. And the reason being is because when I had radiation, you know, it's like the radiation just burns everything. And so it made it small, shrink. Okay. So my breasts are two different sizes. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that. What I know is that I wanted to be cancer free. I know that my little sister had passed from breast cancer. And I knew that whatever I needed to do, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in. Whatever she had told me on Thursday, because I believe in God. He's done it for me before. So whatever he says or whatever it is, I'm all in. So I just wanted to do this video, and I'm going to start doing videos. And this video is long, y'all. I apologize, but I hope you'll watch. I hope you'll watch my journey, because I go for the to see the reconstruction surgeon or plastic surgeon on February the 18th, and the surgery will happen in March. And I'm going to be out of work, I think, 4 weeks. So I will take you all along with my journey, and, you know, just pray for me, and hopefully you will subscribe, watch the channel, learn. Maybe I can help somebody else. Because let me tell you, once I found out everything, I went right back to my Metro family, because I already said in another video, there was a lady at Metro when I first found out I had breast cancer. She was the person that I talked to. But at that time, she had a double mastectomy, but I didn't know, because that wasn't my issue at the time. But this is my issue at the time. And I went right back, and she was right there, like, talking to me. So it's good, because I don't know anybody, you know, and I'm here in Florida by myself. So it was so good to talk to her. And I'm not going to say her name, but just grateful. Okay, y'all. Bye.